Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good morning, wherever you may be. I am the Crypto Crow. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be answering some pretty specific questions that a lot of newcomers seem to have as it relates to the cryptocurrency markets, and that is whether or not you can truly become rich investing in altcoins. Now, we're going to start with one of the primary, what I consider to be one of the fundamental aspects to cryptocurrency investing, and that is the 4-year cycle, which is ultimately potentially becoming an elongated cycle. Every Bitcoin cycle seems to be getting a little bit longer each time around before the market really starts to recover and make significant comebacks. And so that's basically what we're going to start with. Now, basically, what is the Bitcoin cycle? So, in a nutshell, every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that is mined by all the miners is cut in half. Plain and simple. Bitcoin's ultimately a deflationary store of value asset. And all of the miners that are out there spending all this money on mining equipment and things are basically completing very complicated algorithmic equations and all sorts of things, while they're also basically confirming transactions on the blockchain. And for this, they're receiving rewards. And now those rewards are basically per block. They're ultimately typically shared by a pool of miners. There's a whole lot to it, but that's not really what this is about. What this is about is the Bitcoin cycle. Bitcoin ultimately leads the charge in cryptocurrencies, and other cryptocurrencies follow suit. The majority of the time. Now, we've been seeing some evidence of Bitcoin starting to fall in line with like the S&P 500. When it goes up, Bitcoin goes up. When it goes down, Bitcoin goes down. And I think that's likely due to a lot of the institutional money that's been going into the space. And so those bigger ebbs and flows that we're not typically used to seeing, used to create kind of a disconnect between the two markets, is now kind of merging the two to some degree, though I don't think that's going to be lasting very long, okay? Obviously, a lot of people know, look, if you're putting money in the bank right now, with the debasing of the US dollar going on, with the Fed constantly printing new money every minute of every day, lowering the overall value of every dollar currently in existence, a lot more people are looking to cryptocurrencies as a store of value or as an investment. So what we're looking at here is we're looking at a Bitcoin chart, and this is a monthly chart, okay? Every one of these candles is 1 month in time. Now, back on the left here, the far left, you're going to see a vertical yellow line. This was the date, the approximate date of the halving of 2016, okay? During this period, we had the Bitcoin halving, which is when supply is ultimately cut in half and demand typically rises, okay? This is based on articles, FOMO, fear of missing out. People are talking about the Bitcoin value. The supply is being cut in half. Half as much Bitcoin coming into the market every day than the previous 4 years. As demand goes up, more people are trying to buy a lower supply, creating this stock to flow element that, has been projected all over the place. And one of the reasons why a lot of us cryptocurrency folks are looking at a potential $100,000+ Bitcoin sometime over the next 2 years. And while there's a lot of significant money to be made in the altcoin market, or Bitcoin rather, there's even more potentially to be made in the altcoin market. I'm going to get into that. But at this point in time, this is when Bitcoin's last halving was 2 cycles ago. And we had about 10 weeks of sideways activity, okay, where Bitcoin's price wasn't really doing very much. There wasn't a whole lot going on, and it was just kind of stagnant. We kind of call that like alligator trading. It's like alligator teeth. Not many big ebbs or flows to the market. Very difficult to trade, and in a sense, you could kind of consider it a bit of a consolidation period. After all of that, we started to see around July of 2016, we started to see that this was a pinnacle point of where Bitcoin's price action really started to trend upwards and ultimately start the beginning of the new bull market. And from here, we saw the uptrend go all the way up to $20,000 before the market peaked. Now, the general market looks at Bitcoin and they hear about it and they think, oh, Bitcoin, isn't that crypto something that went up to $20,000 and tanked, right? But what they don't realize is that while Bitcoin may have dropped from $20,000 to like a $4,000 low, ultimately about an 85% drop, what they aren't aware of is the 3,143% increase from its previous low. So back here, you're seeing Bitcoin was around $650. So it went from 650 bucks to 20,000 down to a new low of, well, it was ultimately around $3,800. Okay. And so a lot of people aren't taking that into account because they don't really know that that's what's been happening. So while Bitcoin has traveled down, and yes, it dropped 85%, it went up almost 3,200% first. Okay. Now, if we look at the chart at present day, this is the approximate date of the most recent halving. Okay, this was back in May of 2020. And we're currently in this alligator consolidation period, which could take 10 weeks, could take a little bit longer. If we are getting into kind of an elongated bull or bear market cycle, then we could see a little bit longer than 10 weeks before Bitcoin's price starts to rally and starts creating a solid uptrend for the long term, which could last a year to 2 years. Likely 2 years has been the cycle so far. Now, what happens here is Bitcoin's currently trading at around $9,200, okay? And it's been pretty stagnant around that level, between 8,800 and 9,500, and just kind of chopping in between those two primary marks. Now, what's going to happen is, let's say Bitcoin were to get back to $20,000. That's really only a 2x return on an investment. So you're going to spend $9,200 to maybe double that at Bitcoin's original all-time high, which that's not bad, right? In traditional stock markets, you're typically looking at, 5% annual return if you're lucky. You can get that off of just about, the majority of masternode coins out on the market, give or take. So that's not even all that significant. A 5% yield in a cryptocurrency trade is scoffed at in our market. Now, as we continue to rise up, a lot of people who are here's the thing. Let's say Bitcoin hits $20,000 and everybody's expecting it to get to $100,000. Well, that's still not that significant of a return when you've got altcoins that are currently trading at 8, 9 cents, 10 cents, and can very easily get to $3 to $5, right? So your multiple return, your return on investment is significantly greater in the altcoin market once you've been able to establish some profits from whatever point in time you originally bought Bitcoin and have been holding it. Okay, that's one of the reasons why we're going to be talking further about altcoin investing and giving you kind of a better fundamental idea as to why altcoins can be extremely profitable and how to go about it. All right, so now we've discussed the Bitcoin cycle. Now, typically what happens is Bitcoin rises first, the rest of the market follows, and as Bitcoin's dominance continues to rise up and the value of it peaks, a lot of people then take their Bitcoin profit and invest it into the altcoin market to see even further gains beyond where Bitcoin peaked originally. And sometimes some of these altcoins will grow significantly faster in valuation than Bitcoin will. So looking at this example, right now we're looking at XRP, okay? This is basically, it was formerly known as Ripple. Basically what XRP is it's an altcoin. Now this isn't an XRP pump video, but this is just to give you a good example of historical metrics compared to what you might be able to expect in the future, okay? Now, we all know, first of all, you never invest more than you can afford to lose. You do not go off of the whims of any YouTuber. I don't care if it's me or anybody else. If we like a project, use what we tell you as maybe pointing you in the right direction to start doing your own due diligence and your own homework, your own research. Don't just run out and buy something that a YouTuber likes. Some of us, I would say the majority of us, are often paid to discuss or potentially, quote unquote, promote particular projects on the internet. Some of us disclose those advertisements, some of us don't. You never know 100% what you're getting with any given YouTuber. Now, I know a lot of these guys. I like a lot of these guys, but I don't know all of them. So I can't say for sure what you're getting out of any kind of testimonial or promotional effort on YouTube. Just be cautious. Never invest more than you can afford to lose because cryptocurrency investing is still very, very risky. Okay? Whether it's something that could potentially happen with the project, whether it's a hacker attempt, it could be anything. Okay? So always be very careful. I do have videos that I've done in the past that are fairly old, but not necessarily outdated content. I will likely be doing future videos on cryptocurrency security, things that you could try to do to kind of help prevent different things from happening. happening that you don't want to happen. So as we're looking at XRP, we're seeing pre-2016 halving price of 0.008 cents. 0.008 cents. Yes, a fraction of a penny. Now, in 2020, it's sitting at just 20 cents. Now, you could be thinking 4 years, over a 4-year term, going from 0.008 cents to 20 cents, that's pretty big, right? You're right, it is. But in the grand scheme of cryptocurrency investing, this is nothing. The difference is a 2,400% increase in price from 2016 to now. However, the original all-time high of XRP was $3.84. The difference between that and the current price is 1,819%. So overall, when XRP had originally peaked at its original all-time high, you're looking at a little over 4,200%. This is quick dumb math. Probably messed that up somehow. But anyway. Now, October 4th of 2016, 0.008 cents, market capitalization of $286 million. The volume, the daily trade volume for the project was $2.46 million every day. Okay? Pretty significant, but not a lot in the grand scheme of things. Circulating supply was just 35 billion. Now, on December 19th of 2017, it had rose to 80 cents a coin with a market capitalization of $31 billion. This is just at 80 cents. Still have quite a bit of a ways to go until it reached its peak of $3.84. Okay? Its trade volume per day was $1.6 billion. Its circulating supply was only 3 billion more than its previous at 38 billion. Now, we're looking at around July 12th, which is today of 2020. It's just sitting at around 19 cents, 20 cents. Market capitalization of $8.8 billion, volume of $860 million a day, and a circulating supply of 44 billion. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is that XRP is a very long-standing project. It's likely going to go up in the next bull market. It already has started. If we look at and then I made some notes here. A, Bitcoin rises first. B, Bitcoin profit spills into the altcoins. Bitcoin dominance drops because people are taking their money out of Bitcoin, putting it into the altcoin market. So Bitcoin's ultimate market capitalization, overall market capitalization dominance drops. Altcoins rise based on sentiment that is established by community hype, led by use case, technology, and adoption. Now, we're going to go into that a little bit more. Market peaks and whales start taking profit. Everyone else follows. The new cycle begins. So that's kind of a rough example of what to expect in the crypto market. Now, here we are looking at XRP again. And again, I'm just using XRP as an example because it's been around for so long. All right. Currently, its cycle low was just 11 cents. Okay, so it went from $3.84 and dropped all the way down to just 11 cents, almost 12 cents. But at the current price, based on its original all-time high of $3.84, trading currently at around 19-20 cents, its break-even multiple is 19.2. So that's basically saying that if you bought one Ripple token right now at 20 cents and it gets back to its original all-time high, doesn't even have to exceed it, but just gets back to its original all-time high, you're looking at almost a 20x return on your money. A 20x return on your money is probably going to be a little bit better than you're going to get out of just buying and holding Bitcoin, right? So that's one of the fundamental reasons why good projects in the altcoin space typically start getting a lot of this money. So let's say somebody bought Bitcoin at $12,000. Maybe Bitcoin peaked out at 20 grand. Somebody bought it at $12,000 because they saw, well, it's going down. Now I can afford it. I'm going to buy it before it goes back up. They weren't aware of the market cycle. They didn't realize the market was tanking, so they held strong. But when Bitcoin gets back to its original all-time high of $20,000, now they're at significant profit. Or even $13,000. Now they're $1,000 ahead of the game, and they've limited their capital gains tax because they've likely held that Bitcoin for about over 2 years now, right? So when you take that into account, now they're looking for other things to do with their profit. Maybe they take their original $12,000 out of the game altogether, and they take that $1,000, or if they waited until it peaked out again, they take that difference and start investing that difference in altcoins. What's going to happen ultimately is a lot of these altcoin projects that do rise are still going to have a ways to go if we're looking at the historical markets as an example of what to expect. By that I mean, Bitcoin peaked out around here, right? So around December 1st of 2017, Bitcoin peaked. But if we want to look at the original all-time high of like Ripple as an example, its all-time high was January 4th of 2018. So while Bitcoin peaked December 1st approximately, there was still a solid month of altcoin gains to be had because a lot of these altcoin projects, while they continued to grow with Bitcoin, they hadn't actually peaked yet like Bitcoin already had. So a lot of that profit went into the altcoins for quick trades, more quick profit, boosting that altcoin market up before the altcoin market followed Bitcoin's suit and started to go down as well. And that's what a lot of us are looking at. So what is ultimately driving the altcoin market in a nutshell? A lot of it is sentiment. Sentiment is the overall feeling of the internet. What does the community feel? What does the public feel about a particular project? Are they bullish? Are they bearish? Is there a lot of negative news going on about the project? Is there positive news? What is the overall sentiment? A lot of that is established based on the development cycle of the project. How many GitHub commits do they have? How active is the development team? What is the team made up of? Are there big winners? Are there big fish, big whales, big name people? Like Celsius Network and Alex Mashinsky. You've got Cardano and Charles Hoskinson. You've got some of these projects have big name people spearheading their development and managing these teams. And so the faith in the project continues to grow over time, regardless of what happens, because of the people that are heading those projects up are people that we ultimately believe in. So that creates a big impact on the overall price action of a particular project. Outside of that, who else is on the team? What is their use case? What is their development model like? What does their roadmap look like? All those things play a factor in the overall sentiment of the project. Now, some people just trade by the numbers. They look at a particular project, and as the market continues to grow, some people will start doing more and more technical analysis on altcoins because they want to start trading like Elliott waves, getting an idea as to the ebb and flow of a particular coin based off of RSI, a lot of different indicators that are showing, this coin's overbought, so it's probably going to dip soon, and then they sell and they buy back in on the dip. Big motto in cryptocurrency, always buy the dip, right? Because there always is one. So, but outside of that as well, we have other statistics. I will bring up here, let me see. So this is sentiment.net. Now, what this website ultimately does is it allows me to chart the price action of a particular project, but also gives me an idea as to what the development is like going forward with the project, what social dominance it has, just a lot of different statistics. So we can see volume. Let's see. I want to get some development activity. And let's see, on-chain action. I'm not going to dive into that just yet. Let me find social. There's social dominance. And I also want to see, let's see, there's Reddit. Let's look at Reddit balance and Telegram, and that should be good. So let's see what it allows me to do here. So I can zoom into this chart. Now, there's obviously a lot of information here, but I want to take, this is development activity. So this is showing, I can see in green in the background where the price action for the project is. But then I want to see, what's the development activity like? Well, I can kind of see the purple, and I can see the purple against the green, and I know it looks very convoluted, but you can kind of tell what's happening. And this is showing me, wow, there are big spikes in development, and typically during those big development spikes, I'm also seeing the sentiment rise, and let's see, social dominance. That's pretty faint. Oh, no data on social dominance there. Okay. This is sentiment balance on Reddit. So you can see that there are ebbs and flows to sentiment balance based on what's going on typically in the news. On Reddit, You have a lot of people in the XRP has a huge community. You know, when the news is good, when things are good, people are buzzing on Reddit, then you see these big spikes to the upside on Reddit sentiment and so forth and so on. So these are all things that you can see. You see a lot of big positive sentiment on Telegram, which is primarily an application used for a lot of cryptocurrency groups and chat groups and things like that. You have volume. I mean, pretty much everything you want to know about a project in terms of sentiment and the overall idea as to what the project's doing, you can get on sentiment.net. Another website that I use quite frequently is Masari.io, which is this site here. And this gives me a lot of information on particular projects. It breaks down just about everything. It gives you some of the biggest news so that you can keep track of what's going on with your projects. You can track a lot of your projects with all of the different metrics and just about anything you want to know, okay? So, you know, if I'm looking here, price currently is 20 cents. It's giving me the 24-hour high change. Real volume is around $75 million. All kinds of data, all right? And I'm showing you guys this stuff because I want you to have some of the resources I personally use to kind of keep track of what's going on in the altcoin world because it can be very, very useful. Change versus USD since 2017. How do you like that? 31,404% change against the US dollar since 2017. Now it's come down from there, right? So you're looking at 82% down since 2018, but it's been coming back up. So, down 48%. And now as we move into 2020 and beyond, it's continuing to climb. So it's almost double its cycle low. So I guess overall what I'm trying to establish here is that there's a lot of money to be made in the altcoin market. Yes, you can relatively easy get pretty wealthy in the altcoin market, provided you do the work, you do your homework, you really put time into understanding where you're putting your money and why. I will say that a lot of people that are investing in a lot of altcoins, they do it as speculative traders only. They buy in and get out. You know, a lot of people like automated bot trading. I'm one of them. I have my own. It's called Crow Trader. You know, Crow Trader is an automated trading bot that works on CoinBase Pro and Binance. Binance is one of the largest exchanges out there. And it allows people to basically trade the altcoin ebbs and flows against Bitcoin value overall to accumulate more Bitcoin over time. And, you know, there are other bots out there. So there are so many different ways to trade these tokens. But, you know, overall, how much money can you make? It really depends on you. Let's just put up a couple quick examples and we'll conclude this video. So XRP right now is trading at 20 cents. Okay. So let's just say, I don't know, let's say I had $1,000 and I'm going to invest it into XRP just because, again, just an example. All right. I'll make some other ones. So we're going to divide that by 0.20 cents, which is its current trade value. So that gives us 5,000 XRP. Now let's just say XRP just goes back to its original all-time high of $3.84. 3.84. I just made $19,200 off a $1,000 investment. It's that simple. Now, that's not to say that XRP is guaranteed to get back to its original all-time high. Many people believe it's going to go significantly higher than its original all-time high. But that is what you have to try and establish for yourself by doing your own research. You know, there are projects, one of the biggest projects I'm most bullish on moving forward is Cardano. It's currently trading at 13 cents. And its original all-time high was $1.33. But that was also when Cardano was just an idea with a broken wallet, a white paper, and a bunch of geniuses writing a bunch of papers, academic papers for everybody, okay? Now we're getting to a point where so much has been done. My most recent video is all about the future of Cardano, going over the Shelley release, Gauguin, Voltaire, everything that's coming for this project, which is significant. Trading at 13 cents right now with a $1.33 original all-time high, Cardano could see $5, $10. Cardano's not just looking for one specific use case like XRP. XRP is looking to free up all the money that's tied up in international bank transfers for no reason whatsoever, and it's very, very wasteful, as well as other use cases. Cardano is looking to empower huge parts of the world with their own cryptocurrency economic system, and then some, as well as smart contracts, and basically doing everything that Ethereum was doing, but not doing so well. And so they're looking to expand on those use cases and make it more scalable, faster, just better overall. And so, look, let's just say hypothetically Cardano went to $5. It's currently trading at 13 cents. I got $1,000. I'm going to put into Cardano. I'm going to divide that by 0.13 cents. I'm going to get 7,692 of them. I'm going to multiply that by $5. That's $38,461. So, you know, the potential is there to make money in the altcoin market. There's no question about it. But you have to play it safe and you have to make smart moves. Now, a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space would argue that putting money into just about anything in the top 10 other than Tether could potentially yield significant gains over the next 2 years. The sky's the limit. If, you know, I think the height of the total market capitalization in the previous cycle was like $850 billion. Pretty big. And many are believing that, you know, we're gonna surpass $1 trillion market cap at the height of this next market, and could even see 2 or 3 trillion. And if that happens, a lot of this stuff, you'll never see at prices this low again. And it's very likely that at the peak of the next market, you're not going to see the prices this low again anyway, regardless of, you know, whether or not it's a $1 or $3 trillion market cap. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully this was educational. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it helps put some things into perspective for you. I am the Crypto Crow. Thanks for joining me. If you value this information, share it with a friend, a family member. Subscribe, hit the like button, drop your comments below. Let me know what projects do you legitimately think are going to change cryptocurrency. If there's any projects out there that are going to replace what's currently in the top 5, what projects are going to replace the top 5 of the cryptocurrency market cap in the next 2 years? I definitely want to know, and maybe I'll look into them. Thanks for joining me. Crow your coins, and I'll see you again soon.